Hi, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you. This is our first Tuesday testimonial call with AviniHealth for 2023. Can you believe it? Here we are. What an exciting year we have ahead, though. I am so excited. We had a wonderful close of 2022. Many of you reached levels. And what that means is you shared with more people and people are getting help. People's lives are changing. It's amazing. We have unique products, natural products that help the body heal itself. So we don't make any medical claims on this call. We don't need to make medical claims. It's pretty exciting because your body was created to heal itself. When it gets the right help, and AviniHealth is the right help. You will see after you hear all of these wonderful testimonials, you'll hear some dramatic things and you'll go, oh my goodness, how can that happen? But let me tell you, it is happening, and it's going to be happening more and more because we're getting the word out. So thank you everyone for being on. Thank you for sharing today. If you share, I would like to ask Paige Wolf, one of our awesome leaders that is on with us today, has been sharing so much and building an incredible business, and she's going to share an announcement. And then Paige, if you think of your favorite testimonial that you can share, go ahead and do that too. Thanks.
Okay. Very good. All right. Good evening, everybody. So we have a contest for the 2023 Summit. Can't wait. It's going to be in Las Vegas, March 10th and 11th. And here's how you can earn up to $1,000 in bonus cash. First, you have to sign up for the summit. You go to AviniEvents.com. And then to earn cash towards your hotel stay and flight costs, all you have to do is sign up for the summit, have an active auto ship of at least $100, and enroll new distributors. That's what we do all the time. So for the first one is $200, and you need to enroll 5 new distributors with a $2.99 pack or higher, 2 of which must be at least a $4.99 pack, and that'll get you $200. You can earn $650 if you enroll 10 new distributors with a $2.99 pack or higher, 4 of which need to be at least the $4.99 level or higher. You can earn $1,000 cash if you enroll 10 new distributors with $4.99 or higher packs, 4 of which must be the $7.99 level. Okay, so we got some cash on the table here. The bonuses do not stack, so only one of the above bonuses can be earned per person. You must be present at the summit to win. Distributors that earn bonus cash will also receive a special pin and recognition on stage. So join us in sharing the success and learning from company leadership. We hope y'all can make it.
Oh, Paige, that was beautiful. And by the way, you can find that on your email, on Inner Circle. You know, you'll find that, all that detail. But thank you, Paige, so much. And Paige, go ahead and share your favorite testimony for today.
Well, I do believe my favorite one has to be Troy's son. He, at the age of 4, he was doing what he thought he needed to do for his son so that he could go to school. And on that particular day when they were taking care of business, he was getting some medicine put into him, and his eyes rolled back in his head, his kid, who at 4 years old. And then all of a sudden, he had a twitch in his eye, a tick, I guess he called it. His son, Tim, is 17 years old. And for 13 years, he lived with that tick and that facial spasm. And it was only a few short weeks. It was less than a month for sure on our Avini Cell Defender. Those ticks are gone, along with excruciating throbbing in the head also. So no more does he have them. Oh, and his eyes were kind of a little uneven after that day, and they have, whoop, now they're even. So that's our favorite story.
Tell me what he was taking of the Avini products. What did he use, please?
At that point, he only, it was back before we even had Avini. It was our affiliateship program. And so he only took the Cell Defender at that time. It was just the Zeolite, Rick's Zeolite. So,
and
now we've got him on Cell Defender in silver now.
Awesome. And how much was he taking? Just, so people know to start someone if.
Yep. He was just taking 5 drops. How many times a day? 4 times a day. We had him doing 5 drops 4 times a day back then still. So we wanted him to, because we always knew Rick likes frequency. So he was taking it frequent. Yep.
Awesome.
He's a happy camper. No more.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you,
Yeah.
Paige. Really appreciate
Yes.
it. And thanks for that announcement. That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Okay, Jeanette, if you're there, Jeanette Loudon, would you come on and share your newer testimony? And if you have another favorite that you want to share, go for it.
I will. I'm excited because the day after Christmas, this lady started her husband on the cell defender. He has pancreatic dead cells or deadly cells. And 3 days later, she texted me and said he's on his 3rd day. He's now eating. He's feeling really good. And today tomorrow he has blood tests. So they're anxious to get that as well. Gosh, I have one also with a young man about 17 years old that also had ticks. And he was really embarrassed about him, got on the cell defender, and he makes sure he gets that and the fiber, and he does not have any more. I signed a lady up this morning who has deadly cells of the skin. She's really excited. She knows that it's going to help her without a doubt. And so I'm excited to follow her as well. So I've got 2 that I'm really, really following and helping, and I can't be happier.
Well, and I know the testimonial too of your friend Paul that had
Yes.
deadly cells in the colon, and I know that was such an exciting story. Once you
Oh.
have that under your belt where you got to share, tell us a little bit about that. That was such a dramatic story.
Oh, Paul is just a wonderful man. I got to know him by chance, and I just kind of went into his store and I said, we know each other through a friend, or through a friend. And I asked him if he was ready to listen to something of natural products that would help him in his recovery. He had the chemical treatment and it nearly killed him. He ended up in the hospital for a week. And he was just out, in fact, of the hospital when I went to see him, and I didn't know that. And he told the doctors he didn't want to do it again. He was scared. And so he looked at me and he said, yes. And I just like crumbled in my shoes. I thought, oh, wow, somebody said yes, they believe me. And I put him on it. He probably was on 2 weeks of the high dosage that we give, the Marcy dosage. And just like this other man, he started eating right away. He started gaining weight. He started feeling just so good. He started riding his motorcycle. He started doing things he hadn't done for a long time. And it took 5 weeks to get the test to come back. It's a special test they do for identifying the deadly cells if they're still in the body. And it came back that there was none. And he was so happy because he went to his doctor and he said, I prayed about it and this is what I'm going to do. And he was afraid his doctor was going to really have, havoc over it. And he said, you know what? How about if I follow you? I'll do the blood work and we'll follow you. If you'll promise that if your blood work goes down, you will start the chemical treatment. And he said yes, because that was going to be the only the chemical treatment that he had. And colon deadly cells, it's not a very good prognosis. So he is doing well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Jeanette. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And that just happened just within the last couple of months,
like over just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. How exciting. And moving on to just share the hope with other people, huh? I know you're out there every day doing that. Awesome. Thank you so much. And by the way, anyone who's brand new, thank you for being on today. We appreciate your time. We know your time is valuable, but you will be blessed to be on this call. And the Marcy dose is what we call it. It's a dose when someone's in crisis fighting for their life. And it's something that we've learned works. We don't diagnose. We're not doctors. We're not medical people, but we've experienced what has worked. and we can't hurt anybody with our products. It's amazing. And so what happens is, if by taking it, as Paige said earlier, frequently, so every waking hour, taking our cellular defense, which is our zeolite product, that's what helped Paul. And Jeanette, was Paul also on our mushroom product at the time?
No, he was just
okay.
totally on the CD. And then after he got his test and everything, because he wanted to know, he wanted to prove to himself that that worked. And so now he's on the Cell Defender, and I'm sorry, the fiber and the immunity.
The immunity,
Yeah.
the mushroom product and the fiber
Yes.
also, along with the cell
Mhm.
defender. Great. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I do encourage everybody that is, I think everyone should be on all of our products, as Darren says, you know, I know all of us believe that, but
He's
I
the
think
one
if
that
someone's fighting for,
he's the
Go
one
ahead.
that's sending me these people because they are his customers and they're coming in and he's going, look what, you know, he's sharing what happened to him. And these people are coming to me now wanting to
Wow.
get on board
Yeah,
because of
awesome.
him.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Rachel Flores, one of my awesome leaders over on the Central Coast of California. I think she's one of the few over there. We're going to build this big over there in San Luis Obispo area and that whole region. Rachel, come on and share with us. You've got several things happening.
Thank you, Robin. Happy New
Yes.
Year, everybody. Yeah, so although I'm on the Central Coast, all my family's in Fresno, Clovis area. And so that's mostly where everything's happening. And I have a lot of family members who are on the products, which I just wanted to share a couple of more recent ones, the family members. So my aunt and uncle, and they're both in their 80s, in their early 80s. My aunt, she had been with chronic lower back pain for quite some time, and for years, really. And she had several unsuccessful medical procedures and treatments, and, you know, was given different things for pain management. And then after several years of suffering, she started, well, only when our Plus Relief came out, she started on the oral Plus Relief, and well, she had all three, I believe. The oral spray Plus Relief, and then the roll-on and the gel. And she was getting relief from that, what she felt was more the roll-on and the spray within like a couple of weeks. And it's been about 3 months now, and she no longer has the pain, just her whole demeanor has changed. And she doesn't want to be without it. In fact, my sister took her a bottle the other day because she was getting close to being out before her auto ship was in for that. And so she's just ecstatic about it. And she's also taking the Cell Defender drops. And then my uncle, he had a stroke of bad luck in the back of his head. And so there was a scan that showed trauma to the back of the head. And although she had gotten him on the Cell Defender drops, and I don't know exactly how many, I think she said they both were doing like 1 drop or 3 times a day, something like that. And sometimes it might be more, I think. But he was still having pressure and kind of a dizziness in his head. And she asked me, it was over Thanksgiving, she said, can you find out from those people, like what else could be happening with Uncle David? Because he has this pressure in his head and dizziness, and it's not going away. And you know, in the back of my mind, I was already thinking pretty much all the products, right? But I put it on Inner Circle. Some of you may have seen it, you know, stroke of bad luck. Uncle needs to know what else to do. And Rick did reply on that. I didn't address it to Rick, but he did reply, and he saw it. And he said, oh, vascular, you know, question mark or something like that. You know, okay, have him be on, you know, how he recommended the oral Plus Relief and the fiber. And so I told that to my aunt, and so she had me order it. And of course, he's been on it I think it's only been maybe all 3 products now he's been on for maybe 3 weeks probably is all. And he's doing so much better. He's outside doing things in the garage. He's outside doing, well, he loves to putt, golfing in the backyard. So he's doing that. And so both of them are just so much more active for being in their 80s. And she doesn't want to be without the products. And so we've got her on an auto ship now, and just really excited about that for them. But I also have a whole list of, because I have probably a dozen family members. Some of them are new. Another one has to do with PSA for my brother. And he only learned about the benefits of these products from Rich Cotter in Utah. I don't know when that first event was in Utah. Was that over the summer in July or something like that? But anyway, he wanted to test out the products and then wait to get his lab work done. And he got his lab work done in November. And for the first time, his PSAs went down. I don't have the exact numbers, but he's very happy about it because, his doctor's been monitoring him for it. And, he doesn't have to worry about it. He's just going to stay on these products and expect that those PSA will continue to go down. So I just wanted to share a few, lots of new things happening. And I know that, there are some that are more open to it than others. And sometimes it's that point of, when you get the no from somebody, even though it's a close family member, and you're like, oh, why, and so what I do want to say also is it's really the consistency and the daily, using them, right? It's not just, I feel better, so I'm going to stop. And so I think that that's really important as well. And so I try to encourage, those that are on them to stay on them. And even though they're feeling better, that, that's, they want to prevent, right? And stay in that realm of feeling better, doing better, being able to do things, having good lab results, doesn't mean you quit, because you have good lab results. In fact, since I got on the fiber just 3 months ago, my cholesterol went down 7 points. So I'm excited about that because my doctor had already told me, you need to get your cholesterol down. And I said, okay, I'm working on it, and of course, I've always tried to do things dietary wise, but I love the ice cream, I love the cheese, and I'm like, do I need to go vegan or what? Because this diet thing is not easy for that area in my life. So without really changing anything too drastically in my diet, since the fiber, my cholesterol went down 7 points. So I'm expecting even better results in another 3 months with cholesterol.
Now, Rachel, I thank you for mentioning that about prevention. Hang on with me here because, and prevention is very important. It's really our main message, guys. Really, it's preventing the illness. But we have so many people in trouble around us, ourselves or people around us, or in our family and friends, that it's amazing to be able to bring these products to them and then to get quality of life or maybe even get their life back. Could you share your testimonial, please? It's dramatic. And I know you've shared it before, but there's many people on the phone that have not heard that. Please.
Sure, I would love to. And so I go back to probably, I'm thinking 2009 with Rick, when the Zeolite was under a different company. And I had a high risk, fast spreading breast issue over 10 years ago. And I did not do any of the conventional recommendations with the exception of I had surgery, but I didn't do the rest of the recommendations. And they wanted to put a port in me and all that during surgery, and I declined. And so I got probably, I would say at that time, it was 80 drops a day. So I wasn't a high dose. I don't know that it was, every waking hour, but it was probably about 80 drops a day. And at the time, Rick also had another mushroom under another name, or mushrooms, I should say. And so I was on those two, and I did that very consistently, probably for 6 months. And I was, well, to this day, you know, I get my annual checks, and so I don't have that issue anymore. Initially I was taking the drops to address autoimmune, as well as I had a white low blood cell count, neutropenia. I didn't even know it was called neutropenia until post, but I guess that's what you call a low white blood cell count. But it was on my labs, and so as of now, I don't have any of. I mean, other than the fact that I chose to be gluten-free for autoimmune, but I'm doing all of the Avini products. And so my doctor tells me, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, and including the fact that I chose to be gluten-free. She said that seems to be working for you as well. And so between the autoimmune, the low blood cell count, and the high risk, fast spreading deadly cells that I had, I'm so ecstatic, and I'm so happy about the results that we get with these products. So I am another one that's been a long time, running after Rick Deitch, calling Robin to find out, how do I get my drops, what I've always called as my miracle drops. And so she's always been there to support me and help me. So thank you, Robin, for that as well. And then my sister, Hope Lucero, she's in the Fresno Clovis area. And so she's got some testimonies as well in her own family, her and her husband, and then some other extended families and friends. So yeah, we've got a lot happening in the family, and some close friends as well. And just looking to, continue to spread, the word about these products. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. That was beautiful. I appreciate it. And I know you have more testimonies. Maybe next week you can share the rest of the family, because that was awesome. Thank you. We don't want to miss.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Awesome. And Richard, I know you wanted to share, but hold on just a sec. I've got Marcy finally. Marcy, are you ready? I'd love to have you come on now. It would be perfect. You were unmuted. There
Am I there?
You are. You're unmuted. Yay.
Yay.
We know you were off helping others, and thank you for that. And thank you for making time for it to be on. So come on ahead, Marcy, and share.
I'm quite often on. I'm a lot. Sometimes I'm on just listening to Chip, and so listening in the background while Chip's got it on. But today I'm on my phone and he's on his phone, because I was doing one of those calls. We're always delighted, and it's especially amazing to me how blessed we are over and over and over again to have the opportunity to have a conversation with somebody that's fighting battles that they didn't know they could win. So I'm always happy to be with you, Rob. Tell me what you would like, and that's where we'll go.
Well, I've had a lot of requests for people just lately who have family members who have that terrible issue. If you take the first initials of Mary and take the other initial of Sarah, that issue, without making a medical claim, would you tell some of the people here what some of the wonderful things that we have had happen? Because we have several people that are starting on it. They just need a little hope.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. It's an incredible thing that we're able to even talk about the fact that there are situations where signals are no longer possible, or they're disrupted and they're attacked by disease. And when we talk about Mary Sarah, the initials of which are crippling, we can clearly deal with, or we're talking to people who are dealing with long-term forever issues. And sometimes we're seeing that people with this problem are I'm going to use the word lasting longer, but maybe not living longer. By that, I mean they're not able to do the things they used to do. They're not able to, in many cases, walk or talk clearly, and those kind of things. So what we have experienced personally as we're going through working with various ones who have had this problem, one of our dear ones from California suffered for years, literally wasn't able to talk clearly anymore, any of those things. Had gotten some help from other things as far as comfort level. There were times when she had some comfort from other products. What we did when she started taking the drops, one of the very first things that happened, and I know you remember this very well also, Rob, that she was able to talk. She just, when she was having a conversation, we could understand every word she was saying. And it had been a long time where we could not understand. And so to have her be able to talk again, and then to go through the process using the product, layering off the toxins dive into that precious membrane and destroy it. And one of the things the University of Canada example that Chip is so good about sharing with everybody, that clip that shows what a neuron looks like when it's attacked by a little mercury gas. You understand, most of us have vast amounts of mercury because we inherit it from our mother. 100% of what she has, you have. 100% of what you have, you pass on. That's one of the ones. That's just one of the ones. But it is one of the notorious ones because we do pass it on so freely. So as we're thinking about what might be invading this beautiful sheath that protects our nerves, if you think about an electrician goes to a building and he's putting the wiring in a building and they string the wires, well, God strung our wires. And maybe when they strung the wires, somebody inadvertently put a nail into the wire and broke the plastic sheath that keeps the wires from touching each other. Well, that nail is lead. Maybe in this case, that nail is lead or mercury, cadmium, aluminum, arsenic, whatever it is, it's invaded the sheath. And by invading the sheath that's protecting the nerve starts to not be able to function. That is a very easy way of looking at things that have a neurodysfunction or create a neurodysfunction. How could we help? Well, it's incredible. If we get rid of the toxins, some of those signals come back. What do we expect to see? Whatever they lost last. So in her case, she lost her ability to communicate easily. She got that back. Doggone, if she didn't start getting steps back, she started getting function back. Yeah. Was she cured? No, it isn't about curing it. It's about securing every possible bit of hope to maintain as normal a life as possible for as long as possible. That's brilliant. And that's what we have. We are very fortunate with these products because when people say, what does it help? Please, I want to remind you, it doesn't matter what's wrong. What matters is that we effectively, on purpose, immediately start taking out. And the cell defender is the take out tool. It takes out. It's not about adding vitamin A, B, C, D. It's not about adding a vitamin at all. It's not about adding anything except a cage that captures the poisons. So it's like putting a clean sponge in and cleaning up a mess with a clean sponge compared to using a sponge that's been laying on the counter for decades. It's been used a million times and stinky and it's full of stuff. Well, Rick cleans the sponge. So you can go in and clean out the toxins. So you can effectively remove the garbage that's affecting all the lives around you, including yours. So when I tell people that we literally are the garbage collectors, we came to take out the trash so that they can live a more functionally effective life. That's what it's about. It isn't about a specific disease, although granted, I know the first thing everybody wants to do is say, but this is important. Every single disease is important. Disease, discomfort, and despair. All of those things cost us people. And so this product is about taking out the trash so that you can invite in good things, balance. You can invite in the mushroom product. You can invite in the fiber product. You can invite in the silver product. And those products will be able to function better because you function better, because our bodies function better in the presence of this product. So even though I'm talking today about a specific situation, and we have had literally hundreds of people when I talk about I've shared with you so many things about the autism because it's a spectrum. It's not a disease, it's a spectrum. Well, believe me, Mary Sarah is a spectrum too. And there's a lot of other things like it that rob people of their ability to walk, talk, and function. But the one thing that is universal is the fact that our product takes out the toxins. The toxins are what invite disease. So if we do that, what can they get? That's what you have to find out. How far can they come back from where they are? It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Every day, somebody gets on this call on Tuesday and tells you a miracle story. There are more miracles to be had. But what is imperative is that we start looking at this as general health. That if I'm the garbage collector, and I say to you, every day you have 10 sacks of trash. Your body makes at least 10 sacks of trash every day. You could do that in your house. So let's say I came knocking on your door of your house and I said, hey, I'm the garbage collector, but today I can't, you make 10 sacks of trash and I can only take 3. Oh my goodness, where are you going to store the other 7? First of all, they might start out under your sink in the kitchen. Then they're going to wind up in the basement or the back bedroom where nobody will see them. And then you're going to become a hoarder for those things that will destroy you. They will destroy you from the inside out. Nasty things like Uncle Arthur will come to roost in your old joints or areas where you've had injuries. Simple things. We don't think about that, but that's trash, guys. That's trash. Trash invades the sheath that protects the nerves. That's trash. That's toxic body burden. So if I knock on the door today and I'm carrying in my hand the zeolite product called Cell Defender, and I say, today we're going to take 10 sacks, that's terrific news. But if I say, take a little more, take it more often, you already have disease, discomfort, and despair. Maybe you've been around a while like I have, and like some of the other ones of us on this call, and you have disease, discomfort, and despair from years of not being able to take out the trash, right? So if we start taking out 10 sacks, that's just an even day. You're even for what you made that day. How do we get yesterday's and the day before and the day before that? We do a toxic overload disbursement. We come with 5 more drops more times a day, 5 and 5 and 5 and 5. And we start eliminating not 10 sacks, but 20 sacks. Maybe some days you can take 30 sacks out. As you're eliminating those, you won't suffer a consequence. You'll just be blessed by the results. There I went, Rob. What else would you like?
You're good. There are some tough things out there that people deal with. And what you said is just perfect because everybody can bring their testimonial back, and each person's going to be different. And we get
Yes.
different results with different people with any kind of disease you can come up with. So by getting rid of the toxic load there, we're going to affect people's lives. So perfect. That's awesome. Anything else
Awesome.
you wanted to share while you're on?
Well, I tell people, even if you've been on this product for a long time, don't you think it's about time that you made sure you emptied the toxins that you got from Christmas? It's time. It's January. It's the first week in January. Start a personal cleanse, guys. Take 5 drops 10 times a day for 2 weeks. Do that, not for me, do that for you, but do it. Start today. Take 5 drops 10 times a day. Maybe you start at 8 o'clock in the morning and you get done at 8 o'clock at night. Take it on the hour, every hour on the hour for 10 hours. Take it 10 times. Do that for 2 weeks. Now you don't have to do that again. Maybe you're going to do that quarterly. Okay, great. So tax time, you hit it again. You think you got a little stress around tax time? Well, even if you don't, your body's picked up a little extra. Let's empty some. Let's empty some. If it's your first cleanse after having started or coming back to the product right now that you're doing, where I ask you to do literally 100 drops. I ask you to do 50 drops a day, 5 drops 10 times a day. So in April, I would suggest you do that again. 50 drops. What's your life worth? What's the change worth? What's getting rid of the trash worth? Right? Let's do that. And then again in the summer, just do it quarterly. And then you do your maintenance, which is 5 drops 2 or 3 times a day. You know what? You are going to experience a better you. And every time we get a new product, every time you try a new product, every time you're adding to what you're already doing, you will benefit from having emptied the trash and going back after some of that old stuff. So bless yourself today. Bless yourself for the new year. Start fresh. Give yourself 50 drops in a day, 5 drops 10 times. Watch what happens for you. Reinvite yourself to the party.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcy. Really appreciate that. And sometimes I think as we share with other people, we forget to do our own drops. We're telling everybody else to take it. So don't forget to do your own drops. Your own
Save you
silver.
so you can save others.
That's right. Your own fiber, your own plus relief. All those products that we have, they're very, very important. So awesome. It's immunity. Okay.
And Robin, could we please invite everybody to please come to our training call tomorrow night? We're going to start the training calls for 2023. We're going to start the training calls for 2023 at the same time tomorrow night. We'll be talking about how we can best help and serve the team. We want you to participate. We want you to come. We want you to be hungry for information and for help. This is how you find out. Sometimes it's how you find out that we're really here for you. But certainly we will start that call tomorrow night, and then we'll be on a weekly basis, and see you there.
So same link that you're on right now. Howard so graciously also hosts that call for us. It's at 6 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday evenings, correct?
Yes.
Correct? Yeah, 6 o'clock Pacific time. And yeah, I gotta just give a little bit of more of a plug here. I learned everything that I could from Marcy and Chip, and it has been amazing ride, the journey that we've had with them. I never made much money. I never really could build much of a group until I got into Rick's product with Marcy and Chip. And then I said, okay, Marcy, what do I do? And I learned everything from her. And those are the kind of things you're going to glean. She is a magnificent leader in helping you learn how to strategize, how to build a team, how to, become a leader if that's what you want to do. But even if, you're just in it to just make a little bit of money, hey, whatever your level is that you want out of Avini, Marcy's trainings will be very valuable. So we invite you to be on those calls. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Marcy, so much.
Thank you, Sue.
Richard, are you still on? I know you wanted to share some testimonials. I don't see you anymore. Did you pop off, or Richard from
No,
Fresno?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. There you are,
Continue.
Richard. Did you have some testimonials today?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, tell us
Um,
what's going on.
Okay, I have previously spoken to one of these events very briefly at the very end of it. Maybe I'll give a little bit more background to my health so people can understand where I'm coming from better, what I've been through.
Now,
in the
now,
late-
Richard, keep it a little short, on that,
Yeah.
and then give the Avini testimony. That'd be great. I appreciate that so much.
Okay. Well, I've been interested in health for a very long time. I've been following a lot of natural health things, vegetarianism, raw, non-GMO, and all kinds of good stuff like that. Organic, definitely, when possible. But on December 13th of 2022, I was subjected to an illness that severely affected my nasal cavities. So that Wednesday the 14th, I was just in bed all day long. It really bothered me. But I had just started getting the Avini products, and so I was taking a little bit of the Cell Defender. Now I understand I could have taken a lot more, but I got started with that, and then later I was able to get some of the silver, nano silver product, and I was really glad to get that the first time it became available. So with the problem I had, I started, just a few sprays, but it seemed like that I needed more. And when I heard Doug talk on the video about how when he was sick, he took a whole 8-ounce bottle of it, and he got a lot better. I decided, well, I'm going to try more. So I tried 1 tablespoon, at about noon one day, and about 4.5 hours later, I took another tablespoon. That night, my sinuses got so much better, cleared up. And not only that, my third eye was even better. It was just like my third eye was just brightening up, and I could just get my intuition back a whole lot better. And like the silver just right through my body and just giving me life and awareness and the health that I really need and balance. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. That is so cool. We appreciate that, Richard. That's beautiful. That is just, listening to someone, that's gotten help and then turn around and doing it yourself. Now you're bringing your own testimonial. We appreciate that, Richard, so very much. We look forward to more testimonials. Thank you. All right,
You're welcome.
Chipper, I think we'll have you come on and close the call for us. We may be right on time today. You've got the last 15 minutes. Take it and use it however you'd like.
Well, it's fun to listen to everybody. That's the joy for me, and I kind of hope that things come together. I guess I sort of pray that they come together into some sort of a structure in my mind, as to close the call with. And this is what I got today. And I kind of like sometimes to start at the back and go forward. I've gotten to be around Richard a couple of times, and he's a great enthusiast and great guy to have in an audience, because he's always smiling and nodding yes, and you can tell that he's getting it. And it's nice to hear Richard tell his story now. But I thought the story of this call is kind of like, okay, a woman walks into a vacuum repair shop. Right? I mean, that's the story that got me. When you put it all together, and that woman happens to know Rachel. She knows what's happened to Rachel with her story and the people that she's reached out to. So she's encouraged. Okay. And the woman I'm speaking about, of course, is Jeanette Loudon. And Jeanette, she knows Robin. So she knows all those stories. She knows Marcy's story, and had an inspiration to walk into a vacuum repair shop. Somebody said that the guy in there working wasn't doing well. And then, I want to kind of tie in. It's neat to see people going up the ladder, and it's neat to see people getting their sea legs business-wise when this situation comes or that situation comes, that they're able to figure it out. And I wish sometimes this morning was one of those mornings that I wish you could have been with Marcy and I, because a guy called in and he said, okay, all this stuff just came to me. He said, I know what two of the things are, the rest of it I don't want. And I said, okay, well, what are the two that you like? And so he told me, I said, what do you like about those? I said, okay, pick another one. What's that? And so he started talking about why that was important and how cool these products are, and you know what they can do for him. And he got more and more excited about each and every one. And he says, well, I don't have enough of this. And I said, well, that's when you talk to Marcy. So then I said, you know, when it comes to apparently you actually have to buy these products, and that's not my part. I understand what's going on inside of you biologically. That's kind of my world. But let me have you talk to Marcy. And I listened to her talk to him about, you know, the different bundles and how you could put things on auto ship, and then you take a bundle and auto ship, and you put a bundle on auto ship, and now you're getting the best price for the things he wanted. And he wound up just tickled to death, but he got all the things he wanted. Well, we'd already talked to his sponsor a couple of times during the morning, and I have to say, and this is playing in Jeanette's world, I kept looking really close when Jeanette was talking, and I've actually flipped over to the page where I can see her, because it seems like there ought to be wings behind her, right? I mean, there ought to be wings showing up behind Jeanette for today's caller. A woman walks into it, but we got to be the angels for this particular guy, the sponsor of the person who was on the phone this morning. And he scared us a lot. He was a guy that it was the male thing. And, you know, we've had great luck with people that have the male problem, but he didn't know about this. So he had actually gone to Mexico. He'd done everything they asked, and he was so angry and frustrated because they just finally turned him away and said, we can't help you. And that was, you know, that was him playing the big card. He had decided he was going to go natural, and he went into what everybody thought was the best natural stuff, because very few people know about us yet. And he did everything and spent a lot of money and came away with nothing. And he was angry, and his wife was angry, and this thing in the meantime had moved into the long bones in his legs and turned them into pipe bombs, and they hurt so bad. They hurt so much. And then it moved into his breastbone, and that one scared him to death. I see Dr. Mahoney saying he wants to do something together. Yes, Dr. Mahoney, I'm always up to doing something for you. I just saw it flash across the screen there. So answer is always yes, okay? So we finally had a talk one day and said, we're gonna have to like up our compliance here, because this thing is getting so serious. It's keeping me up at night. And one of the two of you is gonna win. Either you're gonna kill it or it's gonna kill you. And we've got to decide now which one is which. And it began to occur to me different ways to think about it and talk about it. And I don't know that I've used this on a call yet, but that thing right there, you know, one of us is going to kill the other one. And we got to decide which is which. And then I started thinking more and more about the nature of that problem. I thought, okay, how can it hurt us? You know, it can find a way around our immune system. Now it's got a toehold. And then it can occupy space we need for something else. It can steal our food, and it can dump its waste within us. In a nutshell, that's how it hurts you, right? It's pretty simple, just like that. And then I started thinking, my sister is great with horses, and she told me that when you're working with a horse, you have to understand that it thinks like a prey animal. So it's fearful about everything. And so then I got to thinking, okay, if a horse is a prey animal, and then I started thinking about this problem that we're all in, you know, fighting with, like the lady walks into the vacuum shop, kind of a story. And I thought, okay, what's the situation there? And I thought, okay, which one is a predator and which is a scavenger between the two? And I thought, well, the problem is a scavenger. It can steal our food and it can occupy our space. It can dump its waste where we wanted to have things be clean, but we are the predator. And I thought, oh, I like that. Because to me, that means anytime we want, we can summon our strength and we can kill it and eat it. And I believe that's kind of the way this works. We have the power when we begin to understand what we have with Avini to exercise our strength to not let things happen to us, not let things take over our space, not let a poisonous metal take over the space we need for a biological metal, not let an undesirable bacteria take over our intestines when we want a desirable, useful bacteria, not have a cell of ours that's made a mistake. And I thought about that, those things that are so amazing about our product line and the way they work. And the word selectivity kept coming into my mind. The selectivity between the good ones and the bad ones. Almost everything we've had before we came across Rick Deitch, good and the bad got killed together, right? You take an antibiotic, good and the bad get killed together. You take normal chelation, good and the bad, they're all going to leave together. You take, chemical treatments or radiation treatments, good and bad, all get killed together. Isn't it nuts that in all those apparently impossible to solve with billions of dollars worth of research problems, we have things that are selective in all those ways? Isn't that incredible? So now maybe listening and talking, amongst us, this woman, Jeanette Loudon, has this in her mind. And she actually walked up to me when we first started getting together with Rick again. And she came up to me at one of the events and she said, do you know who I am? And I didn't get her voice immediately. And she had to tell me, boy, I'm not going to forget now, Jeanette. I mean, now I've been around her a few times. We've gotten to work together a little bit. I know who the lady that walked into the vacuum shop was. And I was trying to say, she didn't, angels don't carry bombs, right? So, but kind of a bomb went off when she went into that shop. Said, no, I got to think of a different way to say that. Well, a pebble doesn't sound too scary. A pebble in a pond. But then I was listening more to you guys talking today, and I'm counting on you to inspire me to think of some way that I got to find a way to say this. And I thought she had a pebble full of miracles. And when she dropped it in there, and Paul, miraculously, the guy that was there and he had colon problems, he had troubles. And I was thinking when she was speaking today, I said, where are all these people coming from? Because I knew she had the guts to walk up to Paul, not knowing him, just walked into a woman walks into a vacuum repair shop, right? And it turns out to be Jeanette Loudon, and she has a pebble full of miracles in her pocket. And the little rings, when you drop it in the pond, start going out from that one action, that one moment. And her encouragement in knowing you guys, being on these calls, hearing from you, that she knew what she had. And that power of that belief in that woman walked into the vacuum shop. And then at the very end, after she talked about the person that now their pancreas won't do what it's supposed to do. It's got troubles, right? And then the next one's the skin person. Well, the skin person, they got troubles. It's the beauty of it is we don't have to be, a pancreas person. We don't have to be a skin person. We don't have to be a colon person. We don't have to be a neuromuscular degeneration person, because guess what? We kind of do the same thing for everybody. If you caught on to that, listening to this, I mean, there's only 5 products, and we always wind up saying, okay, use them all. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy that just basically get these things and start using them. And what Rachel said, be more consistent. And then what Richard said, use more. It's okay to use more. You might get a better, different effect using more. And take the freedom to do that. You're never going to hurt yourself. You're not going to hurt anybody else. And all of a sudden, gutsy Jeanette Loudon walks into the vacuum repair shop, and all those incredible stories. I mean, when Marcy and I went to the Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, they had a tree in the lobby where everybody gathered. And on the tree were leaves. And the leaves were different colored for how long a person had survived. And there were a lot of 2-year leaves. There was a few 5-year leaves. There weren't very many 10-year leaves. Mars could have a 10-year leave. Yeah, the ripple's happening, right, Richard? That's right. Richard, I always like Richard because I feel like he's bobbing his head yes whenever I look at him. He just popped that up on the screen. Yeah, exactly. The ripple begins again with you. You've got the pebble full of miracles now. And I think that's really kind of that's what I'm inspired to say today. And when we all get together, oh my goodness, when we all get together, March 10th and 11th, we've had a little time to build this now. You've gotten to participate in a lot of the stories. Hopefully Paul, or I know some people like that, will be there. We had a talk right before we came on this call with the guy whose bones are pipe bombs. And all of a sudden they've quit hurting. All of a sudden his intestines are working again, right? And just so happens, and this guy markets something else. He markets high-end oil products, to big companies, big trucking companies, stuff like that. And he's kind of gifted with the language, and he's tickled with what's happening to him. And, he is the raw material of which a company like this could be launched, and I know many of you are as well when you start telling your stories. But sooner or later, he's going to wind up with us. It may not be March 10th and 11th because he's been sequestered for so long that he and his wife are having serious conversations. Yes, we'd like to go. We'd like to be there, but we haven't been out amongst the sick people for a long time. And so we're thinking, okay, we do not want to risk you. You do not want to risk you. Let's see how you feel on that day. But those conversations that are going on in your homes, and I know, you're picking up the language. You've got your own sense of what you have. Your courage is raising. You know that you've got a pebble with miracles all over. And woman walks into a vacuum repair shop, and that's where we start. Uh-oh, Robin just left right when I was going to hand it back to her. Now what do I do?
I'm here.
All right. Back to you, Rob.
Oh, thank you, Chip. We so appreciate you and Marcy so very much, and all of our leaders, and of course, Rick and Neil and Doug and their families and all they've been through this last year. Oh my goodness. We so appreciate AviniHealth and it being in our lives. And we just want to spread the word. And did you hear what Chip said? I mean, there's so many wonderful nuggets in what he said, but the one thing is, guys, you have the power. You have the power. So go out there and share it. And we're looking for the people who are looking for us. Don't worry about the ones that aren't ready right now. Maybe they'll come along later. But just go out there and attract those that are looking for it, because there are millions and millions of people looking for what we have. They need hope. And so we want to share it. Thank you, each and every one of you who shared on this call. And if you didn't get to share, please let me know if you have a testimonial for, well, actually, Darren has calls on Monday morning. So remember the Monday morning calls every Monday through Friday 8 a.m. Pacific time for a half-hour call. Darren has a testimonial call on Mondays. You can be part of that. Let him, you can, through one of us, let him know that you have something and he'll bring you on. And then our testimonial call on Tuesdays like this, if you need, just let me know so I can call on you next week. And then don't forget, every morning is wonderful. And then Saturdays, we have Dave Johnson has a wonderful Zoom, incredible. The morning calls just get your day going tremendously. So I want to encourage you on that. And then we've got Marcy's call tomorrow evening, and it's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Same Zoom link that you're on now. So, all right, with that, Howard, let's go ahead and we're just closing out our very first call of 2023, but so much more to come. And the best is yet to come, guys. We're claiming it. If you want to go along with us, just let us know. If you want to build it as a business, we want to make sure you know that there's an incredible opportunity here, and we'd love to invite you to that. So if you need more information on that, talk to the person that brought you on. But thank each and every one of you for being on. Appreciate you so much.